With Star Wars Celebration 2022 Anaheim just days away, the hype for Star Wars across all medium is certainly at an all-time high, especially when it comes to the future of Star Wars video games. We currently know of 10 plus Star Wars video games in development, including the titles such as Star Wars Hunters, the Knights of the Old Republic remake, Star Wars Eclipse, and the newly announced Amy Henna Skydance video game, along with a handful of video games in development at Respawn Studios. This includes a real-time strategy game, a first-person shooter, and the sequel to Jedi Fallen Order. Now before we dive deeper into this video, please leave a like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification icon for future Star Wars updates. Over the past month, we have had a handful of leaks regarding the sequel of Jedi Fallen Order. Most recently, the rumored title for Jedi Fallen Order 2 is Jedi Survivor. This game is next-gen only, which means PlayStation 5, Xbox One, and PC. Earlier this year, the release window for the sequel to Jedi Fallen Order was believed to be holiday season 2022. That no longer seems to be the case. EA's most recent earnings call notes only 2 titles for Q3 for the fiscal year 23, and those 2 titles are Need for Speed and NHL. The sequel for Jedi Fallen Order is clearly missing. But fiscal year 23 Q4 notes a cryptic yet easy to assume major IP is noted in the release window, and it is speculated that this major IP title is a sequel to Jedi Fallen Order. For a fiscal calendar year, Q4 runs from the months of January to March of the following year, so that practically confirms that the rumors that the sequel to Jedi Fallen Order will be coming in January to March 2023. We are expecting confirmation and further information for the sequel of Jedi Fallen Order at Star Wars Celebration 2022. Now whether it be a teaser trailer or actual in-game footage is yet to be determined. So with that being said, here's my list of the top 5 things Respawn needs to add to the sequel of Jedi Fallen Order to take it to the next level. So starting off with number 5, fast travel. Okay, look, I get it. The developers intentionally did not add fast travel to Jedi Fallen Order so that players had to traverse the world manually. Many of the areas are off limits in the early game because you simply did not have the ability to reach them. Some areas you had to wall run or double jump or use your force push abilities to open up a broken door. This increased replayability of each level because the player had to constantly revisit each world after gaining a new ability to unlock every nook and cranny of each map. If you save your progress at a meditation point, this also respawn enemies in the area. But if the next generation consoles allow for larger and more complex worlds, Respawn has to walk a fine line between world traversal and tedious repetition. For example, I never finished Assassin's Creed Odyssey because of the limited fast travel points throughout its massive world. I spent more time traversing to get to objects and story missions than actually playing through the game. If Respawn plans to increase the size and complexity of each planet, then they need to implement fast travel points at meditation sites. Number 4. Meaningful upgrades. In Jedi Fallen Order, you could spend a lot of time exploring every nook and cranny of the map to find unlockables, but at the end, these were superficial changes. Ponchos for days, paint jobs for BD-1 and the Stinger Mantis, and lightsaber hilt pieces to customize your saber to your own liking. But this did nothing to progress the overall game or Cal as a character. You could have skipped all the unlockables, and in the endgame, you would have ended up with the same Cal Kestis as someone who did find all the unlockables. So imagine in the sequel to Jedi Fallen Order, Respawn adds collectibles and unlockable gear that has stats associated to them. Certain armor sets, hilts, crystals, ponchos, what have you, give you an attack bonus, while others augment your force abilities or boost your health or defensive stats. Imagine having more lightsaber stances. Currently, we only have 2 options, the single blade which is more offensive and the double blade which is better defensive. In Jedi Fallen Order, you can unlock a dual blade combo where Cal separates his lightsaber into 2 pieces for a combo attack, but this is not a permanent stance, and after the end of the combo, Cal will reattach his lightsaber back together. I would love to see this evolution for Cal in his combat style in the sequel to Jedi Fallen Order, and maybe he will take on a reverse grip like Galen Malik or Ahsoka Tano. And I know not everyone is going to like the way a certain item is going to look, so you have the option to retool the appearance of say a lightsaber piece with stats that you like, but will match the aesthetic that you want. This definitely adds some RPG elements to the game, and so my Cal Kestis is built to my playstyle, my strengths and weaknesses, and is different than your Cal. Number 3. Space Battles. A Jedi is not only good in combat on the ground, but in the skies as well. Space battles are a staple of Star Wars, especially when you are hopping across the galaxy from planet to planet. Now it makes sense that the Stinger Mantis did not get into space battles in Jedi Fallen Order because there was no need for it. The crew were on a mission of their own, and the only person that knew of Cal Kestis being a Jedi outside from Seer and Grease was Trilla. But during the endgame of Jedi Fallen Order, Cal Kestis comes face to face with Darth Vader, so now the crew has a much bigger target on their back. At this point in Darth Vader's life, we know he is on an endless hunt for all the Jedi in the galaxy, and he will stop at nothing to kill each and every last one of them. So now, traversing space is no longer a safe haven for the crew of the Stinger Mantis. If Respawn decides to implement space battles, we can have more upgradable options for the Stinger Mantis besides paint jobs. Armor, deflector shields, cannons, torpedoes can all become part of the journey. Next on the list at number 2, meaningful companions. Though you make some friends along the way, your ship companions in Jedi Fallen Order are practically useless. Grease Dritus is the captain of the Stinger Mantis, and yes, he does get you around the galaxy safely, but he is nothing more than a glorified space taxi driver. I couldn't or wouldn't trust him to save my life if it came to it. Seer Jinda plays the role of your new master as you become her new Padawan, helping you reconnect to the Force and regain your abilities. She also serves as a link between the light and the dark, as we learn that Seer's former Padawan, Trilla, fell to the dark side during the Great Jedi Purge, and is now known as a Second Sister, the same Second Sister that is hunting you down throughout the galaxy. And although this is a great story arc, and Seer is an interesting character, that's about it for her. Lastly, we have Night Sister Merrin. Almost unanimously, everyone liked Merrin's character. She's an interesting character who wields the Force from a different perspective, as she is a magic-wielding witch of Dathomir. The Night Sisters of Dathomir harness what we know as the dark side of the Force, and are opposed to the Jedi. Initially, Merrin is no different to Cal when they first meet. She warns him to leave, but over time develops a bond with Cal, almost a love interest. But Respawn pumps the brakes on this before the game ends. Merrin is by far the most interesting character, but her arc is only the last quarter of the game, so it comes and goes pretty quickly. But imagine how great of a story arc this could be in the sequel to Jedi Fallen Order. Does this cause conflict within Cal? Jedi are not supposed to form attachments. This goes against the Jedi Code, mirroring Anakin's take on the Jedi Order. Could this lead Cal down the dark side? And only the death or sacrifice of Merrin brings him back to the light. So there you have it, all your companions on the Stinger Mantis. But that's just it, that's the problem. They are only there as a plot device to move the story forward on the Stinger Mantis. They provide no value to you as a player away from the ship. What if, in the sequel to the Jedi Fallen Order, you could choose one of your companions to come with you along with your journey off the ship? Think a la Atreus, the son of Kratos from God of War, a companion who fights alongside you throughout your journey as a support character, but even have options of playing as a companion character at times. Imagine using the Force with Merrin and her magic. This could unlock a whole new set of Force abilities never seen in Star Wars. Maybe Seer has a different lightsaber stance and combat style, so her abilities are different than Cal's. And Grease, well, Grease can continue to fly the ship. And that leaves us with my number one request for the sequel to Jedi Fallen Order: Unleash the Force. In Jedi Fallen Order, we learned that our protagonist Cal Kestis practically cut himself off from the Force to protect himself from the Empire. The remaining Jedi after the rise of the Empire were being hunted down one by one, and their numbers were dwindling across the galaxy. As we played through our protagonist's hero's journey, he reconnected to the Force and regained simple yet effective Jedi Force powers such as push, pull, slow, double jump, and more. But now Cal has already reconnected with the Force. These abilities are now going to be his base stats, so where do we go from here? Surely Respawn will not make us relearn or unlock these abilities yet again. That would not make sense from a narrative standpoint. So we have to push the Force abilities to the next level. Now I don't expect, nor do I want, Cal to go all Force Unleashed, like Galen Malik, aka Starkiller. We won't be pulling Star Destroyers from orbit anytime soon, but implement higher tier light side abilities such as Battle Meditation, Mind Trick, Force Light, and please, for the love of God, Force Heal. Force Heal is a well-known ability throughout Star Wars lore, such as Knights of the Old Republic, and we have now seen it in canon with Grogu in Season 1 of The Mandalorian and Rey in The Rise of Skywalker. So there you have it, guys. These are the top 5 things I would like to see in the sequel of Jedi Fallen Order. Whether it's called Jedi Survivor or not is yet to be confirmed. Let me know what you think of my top 5 list, and let me know what you'd like to see in the sequel. Star Wars Celebration 2022 is just around the corner, so I'm sure we'll get so much information to digest. Let me know in the comment section below. Thank you for watching, and if you have enjoyed this video, please leave a like, subscribe to my channel, and hit that bell notification icon for future Star Wars content. We have so much to look forward to in the near and far future of Star Wars, and may the Force be with you, always.